Okay, we're gonna go for a drive in our Camaro SS. I got the camera hanging on the passenger's window because there's no space to put it anywhere else. This is a Camaro SS Coupe. It's a 2014 model, and it has some really neat features and options. So let's go for a ride. First off, you got the great V8 engine connected to a 6-speed manual gearbox, and we're getting about 426 horsepower and 420 foot-pounds of torque, which is probably more than anybody really needs, but the whole idea about this car is fun. Why else would you want a car with that much power if you're not going to go out and have fun? So I think for the money, you know, you could go with some of the competitors. You could look at Mustangs and Challenger, etc. But I'm kind of partial to Camaros because my first new car I ever bought, believe it or not, was a Camaro, a 1979, which was built in Van Nuys, and that was a Z28, and 79 didn't have the best output ratings. It was a 350 V8 and a 4-barrel carb, and believe it or not, it only had 170 horsepower. Well, they don't figure out horsepower the same way they used to, but this one has 426, so no matter how you figure it out, this has got a hell of a lot more power. It's really, really fun to drive. You can hear the exhaust note. This one has the SS handling package. So what you get with that is real grippy Recaro bucket seats, really deep ones, covered in suede. You get a sport handling package, and you get 20-inch wheels, which are, you know, even big for an SUV, and put on a small car like this, they're just monstrous, with low-profile tires that are summer compound, I believe, and so it grips extremely well. It's a really, really just very, very good handling car. And the price is equipped as $40,000, which you might think is a little high, but it's really not, because first off, there's a lot of other cars. I mean, you can get a minivan that's higher than $40,000, and it's way cheaper than a Corvette. Granted, the Corvette has, you know, more cachet, and it probably goes faster than this and handles better, and etc. But you do have the vestigial back seat if you want to carry little kids or your dogs or something. And there's a tiny trunk. It's not, for a while the Camaro had a hatchback, actually for a long time. The one I had a tiny trunk too, and this one's equally small. But my impression after driving it for 125 miles is it's just a real blast to drive. I mean, it's a very, very fun car. I don't want to get a ticket here, but it almost encourages you to push it, to go faster, because it's got such incredible capability. Of course, your capabilities have to be able to match it and tame the beast. But you know, it's got a lot of modern technology like traction control, etc., which you can defeat and actually do melters, and I frankly don't want to do it because General Motors was nice enough to loan this vehicle to me, and I don't want to abuse it. But the manual says that you can indeed do that by turning off the traction control. Almost had an incident there. You can turn off the traction control and basically do burnouts. And it's funny because it tells you how to do that in the quick tips for the car. I mean, is that something like people want to know right away, how to do melters? I thought that was pretty funny. It's not buried or anything, it's just right there. Press the traction control button twice, and in rapid succession, I just had 2 police cars go by. They fortunately didn't give me a second glance. And you know, it's a very, very fun car. Obviously, it has very limited appeal. It's a specialty vehicle. You're only going to have this probably as a second car. As a primary vehicle, it's probably a little bit too difficult to deal with because there's only room for 2 people. So if you got kids, if you have, you know, larger dogs, they're just simply not going to fit. But I love it. It's definitely a blast from the past, and everything since, you know, my Camaro's been a very long time now, but basically every issue I had with my 79 has been fixed, and they've done a spectacular job with this car. We did have a hiatus for a while without a Camaro, and it came back around 2010, and I think they've done just a spectacular job refining it, and this one is just great. I just give it a very big thumbs up. And if you're looking for a sporty car, obviously the choices are kind of slim. You've got Mustang, and you've got Challenger, and you've got this. I've driven all of them. I haven't driven the new Mustang, however, so I have to reserve judgment on that. But I will say Chevrolet has done a spectacular job with the Camaro, and I give it my highest rating of 10 stars. So thanks for riding along with me. I got to reach over and turn this off. Bye now.